Hello everyone, this is HTOMario, and I'm going to be showing you a Terran against Terran game. It's a bit of a longer game, so we're going to do the beginning on ×2. And this game is against NG DeathRow. We're probably going to show you the second game as well, although they were both played on the stream earlier today. These were really good games for Terran against Terran. They're the only Terran and Terran against Terran I've done recently, so I really wanted to showcase this specific game. The commentary for the second game was actually played on the stream. I enabled the commentary for the second one, and if you want to check that out, you can visit it at twitchtv.com/HTOMario and go to the VOD section and just look up today's date, which is 3/21/2013. The upload, the 4.5 hour stream, and you can check it out through there. So this game, I kind of go like a standard opener. I'm playing kind of safe, and when we go ahead and scout out his base, we're going to see that we don't see any gas, and this allows us to play exceptionally greedy in just a moment. We're going to put a supply depot a little bit to the side, just in case if there was gas, we would go ahead and be able to spot like a barracks floating in, or a command center, not a command center, planetary. No, it's a factory floating in, or starport floating in. I don't know why they'd float in the starport, but basically helps me scout that area a little bit better. Because we saw the no gas, instead of continuing with our tech, we kind of just stopped all production except for SCVs, dropped down a command center so we're not too far behind, and then we're going to drop down a factory and a reactor, because when he's only making Marines, Hellions are really good. They're really good against, various cheeses. We're in the all-in with, like, Marine, SCV. Hellions are really good at sniping the SCVs. And he does end up getting double gas and factory, but that is not something that I was able to tell right away. He might surprise me in the middle of this game, but he scans me, and he sees that I'm getting a tech lab on my barracks and the starport right under it, so as far as he's concerned, it could be Banshee. It's not going to be Banshee, but it could be. So I moved my barracks back. I like to keep everything in kind of a neat place, and once my factory was in production, I started my other gas because I needed it to be able to produce a Raven and Viking, and I'm not afraid of a Banshee myself right now, which is why I'm getting the Raven first. Otherwise I would get the Viking first. Killing my rocks just in case I accidentally attack him during a battle. I've done that. It sucks. So I'm starting another tech lab and another factory. This allows me to get out more Hellions, Blue Flame, or a siege tank. And this just kind of keeps me safe. And that little poke up the ramp just slightly above the edge was to see if there was anything there that would attack me, and if not, I would have moved up. But now I'm starting in a moment Viking production. I got another factory on the way. I made another tech lab with the barracks and then moved it out of the way into the corner. That's all I needed to do for now. Now I wanted to spot drops. And that SCV did spot an attack, so I moved to the front. And, with my Hellions, I try to pick off some Marines before he's able to siege. He's able to get my Viking, but I did drop some auto turrets, just in case he decided to keep pushing. I'd get some extra damage in. So I'm getting, normally I would get my 2 gases at my expansion rather fast, but in this situation I'm playing kind of greedy, and I got another command center, and then my 2 gases, which gives me more minerals, burying the Widow Mines right in between his units, taking out a tank, forcing him to fly away, and taking out the Viking, which gives me air-ground control. He attacked a little bit from the back, but, everything is fine right now. Adding on some more factories, I'm going up to 5 because I'm going to have my 3 bases established soon. Once my command center is done, I want to fly it over and just start benefiting from the extra gas, so I can really dump my resources into like more into Hellbat, Siege Tank, Viking. So I haven't started my armories yet. In this game, I started them now, but in this game I favored getting the 5 factories instead of staying on 3 factories and getting double upgrades sooner, because he's been really aggressive. So I've really wanted the units out sooner over anything else. Watching where he's going, I have to make sure I can see, what his positioning is. I don't want to get boxed in. I don't want him advancing on my tank line. Starting double upgrades and moving a base over to the left side, since he likes to siege the right. He does have air control, which causes me a problem, so I start producing Vikings 2 at a time. And since I spent a lot of my gas on the upgrades in the Viking, I'm producing a lot of Hellions, and this allows me to keep my money kind of low. And this attack is actually terrible for me, by the way, but I do kill his Vikings. But he ends up killing that command center, so now I'm back down to 2 bases, and I'm pretty sure he's mining off of 3. Yes, he is. So he does a little drop. I put missile turrets up earlier for turret ring once I noticed that Medivacs could be out, and he was throwing in bio, so it wasn't going to be mech. So that makes it easier to deal with drops. I'm getting the Widow Mine Burrow and a few Widow Mines because I did notice the bio, and I really like Widow Mines against bio. I'm trying to find the right place for them. I know their place in the later stages of the game, but the earlier stages of the game it's really difficult to really think of where to put the Widow Mine and how to use them as mech against bio. And you see me push my tank up line a little bit further with the Viking spotting. If you click on the siege tank, you can see their range, and this allows me to see, okay, now I'm within his range, but he can't see me because the siege tank can't shoot as far as it can see unless it has something looking for it. Widow Mine doing a bit of damage. He does take him out, but it's kind of worth it for its costs right there. Starting +2 attack. On this stage of the game, I'm thinking, I really need to establish a 3rd base. I need to get my upgrades. I can't fall behind. How do I do that? Cut tank production a little bit. Still produce 2 at a time because he still has a decent amount of tanks, but he's got a lot of bio. I already have a lot of tanks, so I just need a buffer right now while I get the crucial upgrades, and then once I'm on a high economy base, I can really pump out those massive units, and then they're going to be super powerful because they have the upgrades. So, pumping out a lot of Hellions. I'm really using my resources here, and I'm trying to do a sneak by counterattack to kind of even the playing field. Right now you can see that it's 75 workers to 49, 73, 67. He's taken a lot of damage just from this attack, and this is definitely one of the things that kind of brings me back into the game. He's at 58 workers to 51, and I'm gonna be trying to get just a few more over here. And so 58 to 51, I've killed 24 workers, he's killed 13. He got kind of a far advantage being able to produce out of an extra command center. Turret ring going up because I don't want the space abuse. I'm killing those rocks to slow down any attack on my 3rd, since my 2nd is pretty safe. Moving the barracks a little bit because I want to spot doom drops go into my main really fast because all my forces are kind of at my 3rd already. So I really want to be able to spot doom drops. I'm moving him a bit away because I was going to place a sensor tower and push out. I believe he does try to attack me in just a moment, and as you can tell in the production tab, he is beginning battle cruiser production. But I'm also producing Widow Mines, and I'm getting 2-2 upgrades and a few Vikings, so you get to see some interesting playstyle. Because I lowered those rocks, he wasn't able to completely punish me for being out of position. It did buy me enough time to defend this spot, so that's something you can always use to your advantage if your army is a little farther away. Those rocks can help slow down and push a little bit. At this stage of the game, I'm completely unaware about the battlecruisers, but I do notice that his Viking count is getting increasingly higher. This is one of the reasons why I'm getting the Widow Mines as well. It's because the higher the Viking count, the more likely they are to being up with, to coming up with battlecruisers. One of the things he isn't really doing is, if you look at his upgrade, he's not upgrading the armor of his units, and I have +2 armor on my mech units, which means my air units also has +2 armor, so he's actually behind on air upgrades with the air switches. He's still producing battlecruisers. He's got one, he's about to get his 2nd battlecruiser, and battlecruisers can be detrimental to siege tank lines, because they can't shoot up, for 1, and 2, if he has air control. It's really hard to kill them because he'll have superior Vikings, and he's producing double at a time right now. I am really low on resources, and I decided, what, I have enough tanks. I see that he's going for air control. I'm going to get Widow Mine instead of Hellions because it's a little bit less mineral, and I'm going to get Vikings because, it's not as many minerals, and now I'm aware of the battlecruisers. It's not as many minerals, and it's not too much gas, so Widow Mine Viking isn't the most expensive army, and I already have the crucial backbone required, which is the siege tank. So he tries to attack into here. I try to kind of wall him in with my siege tanks up on the high ground and send my army in. he does have superior air control, so it's really difficult. We're gonna slow this down. You know, I burn my Widow Mines in front and siege, and his army gets obliterated. So now you can tell that not only, you know, were we able to safely kill his army, we were able to do it with a convincing manner. You know, he's lost a lot more resources than I have, even though he has one more base. He's got another one on the way, but even though he has one more base, you know, that's he still lost about 3,000 resources. That takes you quite a bit of time to get that, and it was a lot of gas, it was a lot of Vikings. He's gonna have to start replacing the air army. So, because I killed so many units, I'm starting to think, you know what, I can attack him. It takes a long time to get those battlecruisers up. I'm getting these siege tanks, you know, for pretty much free, which is even nicer. You know, he killed one tank, but my upgrades are in a good position. I'm starting some Thor, so now I'm going more into Thor Widow Mine, because the Thor can, you know, it's pretty good against Bio, and then the Widow Mine is okay against Bio, and it's okay against Sky Terran. So I'm going kind of a unit that can attack both at the same time, and trying to invest wisely. Moving these Widow Mines in, so that kind of stops him from mining over here once I established my fourth. He's been mining on his other bases longer, so his are going to mine out faster. And, you know, this means that if he isn't able to establish another base, I could come up ahead in a little bit later stages of the game. I burrow Widow Mines at the places where he could also take his fifth base, just to make sure that I know that I can deny it, or at least slow it down, and make sure that he can't get even more of a substantial lead. So my +3 attack, +3 armor is almost done. I'm kind of waiting for that to push out, because that's a huge deal. Upgrades in Terran Mech against Terran Mech. Upgrades do a lot, and I dropped 2 starports just in case this army isn't able to take out everything. I need to be able to produce a large amount of Vikings to be able to destroy his air army, and I'm starting air upgrades as well. So I'm definitely more upgraded than he is at this stage. He is researching Yamato Cannon. I'm dropping 2 turrets just in case he does like some cute medevac drops, because he can still produce Bio. And he definitely still has some on the map. But he's using his starports for air control. He only has a few medevacs right now, so I'm not too concerned with it, but that's why I only threw down 2 missile turrets. I'm scouting him out. I'm not sure if I want to push into his army. I'm not quite sure what is there, but I decide, you know what? I'm almost maxed. I'm going to throw down this command center for like a macro command center, and then I'm going to push out and keep trying to produce units. I am supply blocked. I don't think I noticed that at this stage, and I'm making my other starports tech labs, and this allows me to get more ravens out onto the field. I noticed that he isn't over here, so I burrow my Widow Mines, and then I go attack the space to deny it. This is really great for me, because now he has to manually destroy my minefield, which buys me time to escape, and I'm not even sure if he knows it's there. But now I realize that he's not going from my minefield, he's attacking back home. So I send a few mines out to go ahead and harass his fourth base, and I try to retreat back home, lift up my command centers to try to save the SUVs. And it's turning into a little bit of a base race, but I decide, you know what, I think, the superior army, so I'm going to go ahead and attack him. So in this fight, I burrow the Widow Mines right under his units. He doesn't move out of the way, and boom, he takes a lot of shots from these Widow Mines. And, you know, he took an incredible amount of damage. He's now 6,000 resources behind in the resources lost, but he does have more mining bases than me. So it's starting to kind of even out. If you look at the income tab, his is definitely higher. Move those Widow Mines up into the front just to try to cut down reinforcements and be annoying. If he doesn't pay attention, you know, and he's got them rallied, I can take out a few units. And I'm still trying to clear him out of my base. If you notice that the army supply is the same amount, and if you look at the income, you know, he's got 20 more workers than me. It means that I actually have a stronger army than he does. So after taking this army out, when you go to the active forces tab, I have a considerable lead of about 800 more gas in my army, or 700 more gas right now, and 400 minerals. So that's pretty significant, which means that I should always come ahead in the battle, even though I'm behind in the economic stage. I right now have map control because he has to defend. So if I take out his other base across the map, and I hurt his economy, then it kind of levels the playing field because if I come out convincingly ahead, I'll not only have map control, but we'll be on similar type basis. Because if you look up here, these resources are almost completely mined out. So it's really, and these are almost mined out. So it's really these that he's relying on right now. So burrowing the Widow Mines under his battle cruisers, and he is dropping the Vikings down to try to take out the Thors so that I can't attack his anti-air. I've got 2 more Thors. I didn't put them into their mode because at this stage I'm already into the battle. I was thinking maybe I could use them to snipe down the Vikings, but and I can't sacrifice 4 seconds to put them into their attacking highly armored mode. Taking out this base with the siege tanks, they're useless in the other fight anyway, and now he's kind of moving on top of my Thor. I'm taking a moment to switch to the mode while he wasn't being attacked, and I burrow the Widow Mines and take out his Vikings, but my Thor dies at the same time. So I decided to go ahead and plant another Widow Mine where he has that base, so it's even more difficult for him to attack. Send my reinforcements in, but I don't want to fight him up on a cliff. I want to fight him in the field where I can send my Widow Mines to burrow under him. I have Ravens on the way because I had a decent amount of gas, and my Widow Mines kind of burrowing under his battlecruiser, taking that out, and then I see that he's got 2 tanks up there. The resource supply, the resources we have banked are kind of close, gas-wise, but mineral-wise is really ahead, so he can reserve back to bio. But once you see all these Widow Mines I have, Raven, PDD, and the siege tank, it's impossible for him to really move outside of this base, and it's gonna take a lot for him to be able to break this specific contain without battle cruisers. And he only got a 1 on the way. He's lacking a sufficient amount of gas to be able to do it, so he really has to rely on like Marine Marauder, which means he has to start dropping. So he needs medevacs, which he's getting, but that also takes a lot more gas. And I'm pretty well defended in most areas against medevacs. He can't really drop on top of him because of the Widow Mine. He can kind of go behind and try to drop here, but I can just unsiege my tanks, and my Widow Mines will still protect the front from him just running through. So it would have taken a lot more to break this, and I think he thought I was farther ahead than I was. But once I established this base, which I was about to do, I would have been at a considerable lead. So thank you all for watching. This is HTOMario, and if you enjoy these games, please remember to subscribe and follow me on my stream, which is twitchtv.com/HTOMario, my Twitter, which is HF, like have fun Mario, or just HF Mario hashtag. So you guys have a wonderful day.